Hello students and welcome to this new video. This new video is the part 3 video of a session 8 of unit 2. Our unit 2's title was web applications, and in this session 8 we are studying about internet security. Okay, so in this new part 3 video what we are going to do now, we will study about some new preventive methods of internet security, using which methods we will able to provide more security to our computer systems connected to the internet, and our computer systems will now be more secure with the help of these preventive methods. Okay, so the first preventive method which we are going to study is now block cookies from other sites. Okay, so a lot of websites allow us to create an account on the website and to log in into the website by using that account. Okay, in fact some websites require it. Some websites have made it mandatory for us to create an account first, and then we have to sign in into that account by entering our username and password, and only then we will be able to use that particular website services. Okay, like Google Mail, Gmail, Microsoft OneDrive, Amazon Store, etc. All of them require the usernames and passwords to log in, and then only the user can use the website after logging into the system or after logging into the website. Okay, these websites keep our personal information in a small file called cookies. Okay, with cookies what they can do, the sites can keep us signed in. Okay, when the next time we will visit the website, we will be the user will be automatically sign in into the website. Okay, the sites can also remember our the websites can also remember our site preferences. Site preferences means the record of our previous activities. Okay, the website will keep the website will keep a record of whatever activities the user had performed on the previous turn, what items of information the user wanted on the previous turn, what is the field of interest of the user, and depending on the field of interest of the user, the website will only the website will offer those services and items to the user, which those items whatever items are most suitable, and those whatever features are whatever items are most suitable and most required by the user as per his or her own personal needs. Okay, so this is the meaning of site preferences. Okay, remembering the site preferences. Then thirdly, it will give you locally relevant content. Locally relevant content means what? The cookies can also be used to store the location of any particular person, the geographical location of any particular person, and then when the next time when the user will visit the same website, then the website will use the cookies on the user's computer to know about the user's location, user geographical location, and then what will the website do? The website will offer only those content and services to the user that are relevant to the person's geographical location. Like for example, if you are visiting any newspaper website or any news channel website, then what will the news channel website do? The news channel website will keep a record of your location also. Okay, so that when the next time you will visit the news website, then only those news will be provided to you on the priority basis, whatever news is relevant to your geographical location or your geographical city or country. Okay, so this is the advantage of using cookies. These are the three advantages, but cookies are not always advantages. Sometimes cookies are also very harmful and disadvantages to us also. Okay, so what happens actually, see, normal website usage of cookies is actually a benefit for us. Okay, but the way that advertisers use their the way using which advertisers use these cookies could be very harmful also for us. Okay, because what will happen, these advertisers will use the cookies for gaining access to the personal information of the users, which the advertisers will use for their selfish needs, and it will in turn harm the users as their private information will be leaked to the advertisers. Okay, in this case what will happen, the cookies can also be used as the cookies can also be harmful for us, and they could also be used for some dangerous activities, like in the case of advertisers also. Okay, so it is always advised to control such cookies in different sites. Okay, now the second topic is encryption. So what is encryption? Encryption is the conversion of data into a form called ciphertext that cannot be easily understood by the unauthorized people. So those people who are not authorized, which are unauthorized, these people will not be able to easily understand and read your text. Okay, which is in the ciphertext form. Okay, so encryption system is used to encrypt the data for unauthorized use, to prevent unauthorized use. It gives a protection to content provider in such a way that user cannot copy or redistribute it. So if you are encrypting your content, then what will happen? Using the encryption means the content provider will have an additional protection. The content provider will be provided with an additional security that the content provider's content without his or her permission any user will not be able to copy or redistribute the content provided by any content provider. So the content provider's content will not be able, any user will not be able to copy or redistribute the content provided by any content provider without the content provider's proper consent and permission. Okay. So encryption has widely been used to protect data in numerous areas such as e-commerce, online banking, cloud storage, online communication, and so forth. It uses technology such as virtual private networks and secure socket layers. So the technology such as virtual private networks and secure socket layers are being used for providing encryption services in variety of areas today. Okay. Now the last topic is to use a firewall. Okay. We can also use a firewall for providing extra network security to our computer systems. Okay. Now how we can use that? See, first of all, what is firewall? A firewall is a hardware or software security device that filters information passing between internal and external networks. So what is actually the purpose of a firewall? A firewall filters information which is passing between an internal and an external network. Okay, which means that it will only allow selected information to pass through our network. Okay, it will only allow selected information to pass through from our internal network to the external network. Okay, similarly, only from the external network also only selected information will be able to pass through the firewall, and only selected information can reach our computer network from outside by using the firewall. Okay, so it controls it. So in short, you can say that it controls access to the internet by internal users, preventing outside parties from gaining access to the system. So it prevents outside parties, those outside parties which are not authorized to access the systems. It will prevent those outside parties from gaining access to the systems and information on the internal network. So our internal network will be protected from the outside parties, and those outside parties which are not authorized by us, those parties will not be able to access our internal system, and they will not be able to access to our systems and information which is very private and sensitive. Okay. So in this way, a firewall is a very effective and very efficient methods for providing internet security. Okay, a firewall can be applied at the network level also to provide protection. Network level means at a wide level. Okay, network level means what? At the full network, at the whole network level. So in that case, what will happen? It will provide protection for multiple workstations. Multiple workstation means what? More than workstation. All those workstations which are connected to that network, those will be protected by using the firewall at the network level. Okay, or what will happen at the internal network also? It could be applied. If we apply the firewall at the internal network level, then what will happen? All those computers which are connected at the internal network level, those will be secured, those will be protected by the firewall. Or what we can do, the second type of use is at the personal level. Personal level means what? We can also install it on our individual PC. Okay, like we are installing it on the server also at the network level. Similarly, we can also install it on our individual PC also, on our personal PC also. And then what will happen? If we are using if we are installing and using the firewall on our personal PC or on our individual PC, then what will happen? That the firewall will be protecting our PC from unauthorized access by any hacker. Okay, what will happen? Any hacker or any unauthorized person or any unauthorized organization will not be able to hack. It will not be able to access our personal information which is stored on our individual PC, and our individual PC will be secured with the help of this firewall. Okay, so I hope you have understood these three preventive methods which we have studied today. Okay, so we will conclude this video today. In the next video, we will continue with the next preventive methods which are intrusion detection and secure your connection, and many other preventive methods also. Okay, so here we will stop for this day today. Okay, thank you and goodbye. I hope you have understood the video. Okay.